Let's start with the storyline of Ceylan and the ring. After the scene where Ceylan hides Sultan's jewelry and invents a story about a surprise, it is striking that her nerves are at their breaking point. It's logical to expect that in the next episode, her hastily constructed lie will begin to crumble under the pressure of those around her. Sultan pretends to believe this story about the replacement, but her reaction in the dialogue betrays hidden doubts. Most likely, after such an awkward exchange, she will start monitoring Ceylan's behavior more closely, which will trigger their first open confrontation. Malek explicitly warns Ceylan that her impulsive actions will lead to big trouble. Judging by this conversation, in the new episode, it is Malek who might become the person who, accidentally or intentionally, reveals Ceylan's true motives to Haydar Ali. When Haydar Ali learns from his brother that the ring was found in Ceylan's room, he draws a completely wrong conclusion. From his reaction, it is clear that he takes it for ordinary female jealousy. Because of this misconception, in the next episode he will likely underestimate the real threat. The brother tells how Ceylan secretly kissed Haydar's t-shirt. This visual hint of obsession suggests that Haydar will later try to completely cut these ties, provoking her to take radical steps. By the way, if you enjoy our breakdowns, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. Moving on to the aftermath of the shooting. Hamit's people hit the bulletproof glass, and Bozo's circle is eager for revenge. Bozo's pause in this scene hints that he is preparing not just a retaliatory strike, but a demonstrative execution that will unfold in the sequel. Cengiz openly advises starting the revenge with Rifat and his loved ones. Given this specific voiced threat, it is logical to expect that in the new episode, Rifat's storyline will come to the fore, and his family will find themselves under real fire. In the conversation between the women about Rifat not getting involved in crime anymore, there is a clear omen of trouble. After Sadia's pleas, we will most likely see Rifat disobey and fall into a trap set by Hamit's people. Haydar Ali directly tells Ceylan that she herself rejected him by confessing her feelings for Bozo. After these harsh words, it's logical to expect that Ceylan will lose her last incentive to play a role and go on an open, desperate offensive. Ismail suggests that Bozo lay low and let the enemies strike the uncle. Such a pause in the discussion of revenge plans indicates that Bozo is testing Ismail. In the next episode, this dialogue may become the starting point of a rift between them. Khan emphasizes that people of Kartal's scale do not register in hotels. This remark raises the status of the new enemy. Most likely, Kartal will begin to hit Bozo's family not physically, but through their past, while remaining in the shadows. Bozo categorically demands that Ismail go and get an apology from Hamit. This direct pressure corners Ismail. Judging by this scene, an attempt to carry out such a humiliating order will lead to an even bigger shootout. Derman uses his minor wound to get closer to Aslı. This comical storyline with a scratch will likely result in Aslı taking advantage of Derman's infatuation to extract his father's plans for the near future. Pasha openly expresses dissatisfaction that Merdan is so afraid of the European cartel. This hidden conflict within the family suggests that Pasha might go on an unauthorized attack against Kartal in the next episode, putting everyone at risk. Julia's appearance with the message from Kartal causes clear shock for Merdan. Julia frankly enjoys this power. After such manipulation, it can be expected that Merdan will finally snap and go into a direct confrontation due to jealousy. Bozo declares that the city belongs to him, and he is ready to meet the enemy on any territory. This self-confidence looks like preparation for the fact that a nasty surprise awaits him at the meeting, for which he is completely unprepared. Bozo stops his people, philosophizing that today a drop of blood will spill, and tomorrow a sea. This delay will show his weakness. After such a phrase, it is most logical to expect that inaction will provoke Kartal to take the first brutal step. Cengiz promises to kill Bozo's people one by one, looking for the most vulnerable. This voiced threat will not remain just words. In the new episode, we will likely see Cengiz implement this plan, choosing one of the minor characters as a victim. Azize scolds Julia for her dangerous closeness with Kartal, just to spite Merdan. Judging by this dialogue, Julia has played too far. Her fake flirting will most likely turn into a real threat to herself later on. Kartal sets a meeting on his territory and immediately gives the order to prepare for a kidnapping. This parallel editing clearly indicates, while Bozo is distracted by negotiations, Kartal will deliver a painful blow to the back of his people. Ismail gives fatherly advice to Vulcan, sincerely speaking about how hard it is to let go of someone who doesn't love you. This scene reveals Ismail's attachment to his son, which is why Kartal will choose him as the weak link. Vulcan tells Khan to value his father. This short exchange by the car works as an emotional bookmark. In the continuation, Khan's fate will surely become the main lever of pressure on the loyal Ismail. Haydar Ali and Ephraim doubt whether they should go into Kartal's lair. Ephraim is clearly nervous about a possible ambush. After these hesitations, one can expect that their stiffness at the meeting itself will betray their vulnerability to the European opponent. Sultan asks Merdan not to turn his back on Julia, reminding him of her betrayals. This phrase sounds like a grim prophecy. Most likely, Merdan will neglect the advice, and in the new episode, Julia will deal him the most painful blow. Asli explains that Kartal will not strike head-on. First, he will demonstrate strength and sow fear. This accurate observation by the lawyer gives a forecast. Kartal's next action will be psychological and exhausting in nature. Julia tells Asli that Durman is interested in her, and Asli plans to use this to get information. Now the logic of the storyline leads to Asli getting involved in a dangerous game with Derman that will spin out of her control. Yavuz sleeps like a log after a drinking session and doesn't open the door. This seemingly comedic scene hides a hint. Yavuz is missing the preparation for a decisive meeting. In the next episode, his absence at the right moment could cost Bozo dearly. Bozo orders Ismail not to appear in public due to threats from Hamit's brother. This decision to hide a loyal man will paradoxically increase the threat. Most likely, enemies will start looking for Ismail through his weakest point, his son. Bozo asks Haydar Ali if he knows what exactly is destroying him from the inside, and Haydar agrees. After such a hidden confession, it can be expected that in the sequel, Kartal will use exactly this secret vulnerability of Haydar to break him. At the meeting, Kartal mocks Merdan, asking if he came because of longing for Julia. This public provocation sharpens their conflict. In the next episode, Merdan will surely try to prove his independence and make a mistake. Bozo asks Kartal if he is afraid of being pushed from such a height of a skyscraper. This is a direct declaration of war. Judging by this threat, the confrontation will move into a phase where everyone will try to drive the other into a literal trap. Kartal declares that as long as he is here, there can be no other ruler, to which Bozo demands he leave. After such an exchange of ultimatums, no one will back down. Kartal's next step will be aimed at destroying Bozo's reputation. Kartal reminds Merdan how he begged to kill Bozo. Using past sins is a classic move to create a rift. Precisely because of this reminder, Bozo may start doubting his ally's loyalty in the next episode. Kartal drops the phrase that Haydar Ali's whole life is one big lie. This detail is a powerful hint of hidden secrets. In the new episode, Haydar's past will likely begin to surface, threatening his position. Kartal claims that Bozo's people stay around only because of money and promises, to prove it in action. After such a statement, it is clear. Kartal has already chosen his victim for blackmail, and the bribery attempt will be revealed very soon. After a difficult meeting, Bozo suddenly decides to buy ice cream. This gesture is intended to show his composure, but it looks too forced. Later, Bozo will likely lose this control when he realizes that Kartal's threat has already begun to come true. Ephraim suggests visiting Aziz to win her over to their side, and Bozo allows it. Judging by this decision, Bozo is desperately trying to build an alternative alliance against Kartal, although Aziz is unlikely to go into an open conflict. Julia returns to Kartal and rejoices that she made Merdan jealous. Her lightheartedness against the backdrop of a serious criminal game will lead to her becoming a pawn and a bargaining chip in Kartal's hands in the next episode. Merdan tries to convince Aziz that the alliance between Julia and Kartal will harm everyone. Aziz listens but remains outwardly cold. After this conversation, one can expect that she will still start acting, but in her own interests, protecting her sister. Aziz responds harshly to Merdan, demanding he keep her sister out of these showdowns. This cold answer seizes the initiative. In the next episode, Aziz's decision to protect Julia could cause her direct collision with Kartal. Pasha suggests that Bozo not delay Haydar Ali and Sultan's marriage, but simply sign the papers quickly. This sounds like an attempt to close a problematic issue. However, such haste will surely lead to secrets surfacing at the most inopportune moment. Bozo agrees to a secret dinner and the signing of papers, planning to make it a surprise for the couple. But we know that secrets don't live long in this house, and the secret preparation will become the trigger for a new emotional explosion. Derman brags about his Sorbonne degree, trying to impress Asli with talks about philosophy. This scene hides an important fact. Asli is using his stupidity. Next, we will see how her manipulations force Derman to accidentally reveal his father's plans. Rifat openly laughs at Derman, calling him deep as a bottomless well. The Hamit's relationship continues to crack at the seams. After these taunts, Derman might try to prove his significance by getting involved in an independent game. Azize warns Julia that Bozo does not forgive betrayal and asks her not to make her experience a new loss. This request sounds extremely tragic. Most likely, Julia will not listen, and her stubbornness will provoke irreparable consequences. Ismail persuades his son to go on vacation to hide from the showdowns. Khan agrees to fly out only in a day. This delay will be a fatal mistake. It is precisely in this remaining day that Kartal will deliver his main blow to Khan. Haydar Ali suddenly puts a ring on Sultan's finger and asks her to give the old ring to the future wife. Haydar is trying to close a chapter, but his abruptness only hurts Ceylan more, pushing her to the edge. Ceylan squeezes the old ring in her hand and realizes that Haydar Ali has finally chosen another. This final point in their relationship breaks Ceylan. Next, she will no longer play by the rules and will snap. Bozo instructs Ephraim to prepare fake blood certificates for a quick wedding. This decision to bypass the law for the sake of speed shows his haste. In the next episode, this hastily organized secret marriage is almost certain to be disrupted. Ephraim awkwardly asks Yavuz if he has someone special to invite, hinting at his feelings for Aziz. This hidden subtext suggests that Ephraim will later try to take a risky step in her direction. Malek overhears Sultan arguing that a husband should be a reliable support. This conversation shows that Sultan still doubts Haydar, and any surface secret could instantly destroy their union. Ferhat suggests tracking Julia to get to Kartal. This initiative of the youth, without the knowledge of the elders, threatens catastrophe. Judging by this decision, Ferhat will fall into the enemy's trap in the next episode while trying to prove himself. Bozo returns home and bluntly asks his people which of them will betray him. The fact that Bozo allowed the seed of doubt to sprout means that in the new episode, paranoia will slowly begin to destroy his empire from within. Ephraim strangely questions Haydar Ali about his blood group under the guise of care. The mention of a rare negative group is no accident. Most likely, it is this blood that Haydar will need after a serious assassination attempt in the future. Kartal calls Ismail and utters the cold phrase, "I always get what I want." Simultaneously, his people surround Khan. Ismail's storyline reaches its peak. Now he is faced with an impossible choice between his son's life and loyalty to Bozo. Kartal's people intercept Khan, and Ismail hears his son's voice over the phone. This is a classic pressure technique. In the next episode, we will see how Ismail will be forced to lie to Bozo's face, trying to buy time to save Khan. Bozo admits to Haydar that he froze because of the threat of internal betrayal. The fact that Bozo lost the initiative gives Kartal a huge advantage. In the sequel, the enemy will strike exactly at the moment while Bozo is looking for a traitor among his own. Khan screams into the phone to his father not to betray anyone, even if they kill him. This piercing scene takes the conflict to a new level. Ismail's attempt to fix the situation alone without sacrificing his son will become the main drama of the new episode. Ceylan comes to the secret office to the handlers. Her face expresses complete despair. She declares that she is no longer participating in their game. This breakdown means that the secret operation hangs by a thread, and the handlers will have to change the plan. Ceylan accuses the handlers of throwing her into hell, forcing her to get close to Bozo for Ali's sake. The fact that Asli is trying to calm her down shows they are losing control. Their pressure on Ceylan will only intensify later. Aslı claims that they didn't ask Ceylan to marry Bozo. This argument exposes the flaws in their original plan. Ceylan realizes she was used, and in the next episode, she will likely try to run away from everyone. Ceylan screams through tears that she still loves Ali. This desperate confession puts an end to her inner wavering. Now the logic leads to her feelings, forcing her to reveal the whole truth to Haydar, risking her own life. Ceylan issues an ultimatum. Either they pull her out of the game, or she goes to Haydar Ali and tells everything about the deal with the special services. This threat forces the handlers to act. In the new episode, they will have to make a brutal decision regarding her elimination. The girl declares she is ready to die if her plan fails, just to save Ali and Melek. This self-sacrifice looks like preparation for her tragic finale. It is very likely that Ceylan's attempt to save her loved ones will turn into a blow against herself. Towards the end, Yilmaz says they need time to make new documents for Ceylan, but the pause he holds betrays a lie. The handlers won't save an agent who has gone out of control. They will start planning her quiet liquidation. The final scene in the office. Yilmaz coldly states they will have to sacrifice one person, Bozo, Haydar Ali, or Ceylan. This harsh choice brings together the most likely picture for the next episode. The main blow will come not from Kartal, but from the handlers, and it is Ceylan who will be in the crosshairs.